And we have the infamous IOCCC Best One-Liner Award.
This is a very traditional award that's been awarded a number of times. As one of the few that we often repeat. But it's a good one-liner because everyone needs a one-liner, some liner fun in your life.
All right, well, let's see who's going to win the best one-liner this year.
And the IOCCC Best One-Liner Award goes to Volker's diels-grabsch from Germany.
Yes, and here is the one line. So your challenge is to ask, what does the following single line of C code do? Now, that might be a little bit hard for some people to see. And here's a little bit bigger version of it. Obviously, it's wrapped in 3 lines. But as I say, we are due to take a break.
Yes, we are back. I had time to refill my most C-appropriate drink, coffee, because if it was Chardonnay, it wouldn't be doing very well.
Yes. So Leo, you had a thing which is one of the fun challenges about this code.
So if somebody would dare to convert this number 9,018,655 to hex, that could be a hint.
But what is that constant? Basically, the question A is asking is, what is the purpose of that constant? What does it do? But this code, there's a one line. Again, this is a brilliant one-liner. You get, and some people in the chat did get some pretty good set there. So we got some people that were really close to understanding what this does. Obviously, you get a little bit as if this thing gives you a little bit of notion that hint that it's a decompressor, because it actually is self-documenting in a way. If we take and format the piece of code, right? And so let me show you what the thing looks like formatted. What you see is we've got some variables up here, including that magic constant and its array. And essentially it's a main consists of a single for loop. There's no initiator for the for, but this is the test, and this is the iterator out here to perform this thing, right? And this particular code, so that's what it looks like. Now, again, we are going to not give you everything about these entries. We don't have time. That's part of your job. I suspect also that folks like Roy Wired that do marvelous reverse engineering will have fun with some of these things. But your courage to go further and to explain what this does, and especially that challenge of what does it explain that constant. That constant is very important. But let's see what it does, right? So if we were to echo 100 ASCII spaces and run the program with 14 arguments, I say, 14 arguments. Well, if you looked at what the thing does, it only basically pays attention to what is argv, or the argc, the count. So you give it 14 arguments, so 100 spaces, give it 14 arguments, it will produce a compressed file that, if you look, will be smaller. So there's 100 spaces being compressed down to 19 spaces. Now, what's even more interesting is that prior to the 5.0 release of ncompress and friends, there was a bug. This bug was discovered, and this program illustrates that bug. So that if you try to have a uncompressed prior to their Fido release and attempt to use a Zcat, it will fail. That's not a bug, that's a feature, right? So you can tell whether or not your Zcat is actually fixed if it can actually decompress what Ulker's code, one-line code does. So one-line code is actually correct, and it allows you to test whether or not had this actually been a Zcat, which was if I'd release or better, it would have given you back your original 100 spaces. So I think a really fun one-liner. It's small enough that you could go through the work of understanding. It'll give you an idea about what decompression algorithms are like, and get a chance to challenge what that particular constant is.
The interesting thing that there was a one-liner decompress or uncompress program, and
back in 2019.
Yeah,
in 2019,
yes, and,
by the same author.
And the challenge was to, if it's possible, to make a one-line compress. So here it is.
And it is. And so did a one-line compress of that thing, obviously sacrificing the compression ratio, but it does work. And in fact, it works better than the pre-Fido thing by doing it correctly. So
right.
Congratulations for your third running entry. This is a one-liner to pay attention to and try to deconstruct it down to its elements. Well worth it.